This video is sponsored by Card Market. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. There is no better place to fulfill all your Yu-Gi-Oh! And card game-based needs. The platform is not only exclusive to only Yu-Gi-Oh!, but also has sections for all other major card games. You can find a link to Card Market down below in the description. And now, without further ado, let's go into the video.
Hello there, welcome back to the Frozen Card Gaming YouTube page. Oliver here, and I've got an updated Invoked Dogmatika deck profile to show you. Here we go. Onto the monsters, we have 3 Alistair because it's an Invoked deck. Then to the Dogmatika side, we have 1 Maximus, 2 Flu, and 3 Ecclesias. So 3 of this is staple. The ratios of these just seem to be either 1 or 2, same with this. I play 1 Maximus because, especially that I'm not playing the Shadow engine, is not as needed. The reason I don't play the Shadow engine because I don't think it's necessarily needed to win, and it takes up extra deck space. And game ones, you don't, if you're don't know what your opponent's playing, you don't want to go for Maximus, and you need Nadir Servant to not minus to go for the Shadow play, and sometimes it doesn't, like you're not going to be facing combo, so it may not do anything, and you could be searching a punishment instead, or Flu with Ecclesia, and have other stuff in your extra deck, and then when you go second, like it's not as well, it can still work, but you'd rather have other stuff, and then you have stuff in your extra deck for like every deck instead of just a combo. And obviously some extra sometimes you'll get punished for using this, so this is just like normally just a backup. Once you know your opponent is game once you know your opponent's not playing Dogmatikas or unlikely to have an engine to punish you in the extra deck, then safe to use this, and then play 2 of this. And I can understand why some people play 1 because it's annoying drawing this card as the only Dogmatika monster, but it can also help you push for games sometimes. And I'm playing Desires, so that's another reason to play it too. And sometimes it's nice, like if you don't have Desires or don't banish both of them, and mid-game getting a second copy. So I do think 2 is the right number to play. And then onto the hand traps, we just play 3 impermanents, 3 Ash, and the Gamma package. So it's just 9 hand traps. Like normally I play 12, but there's no other hand trap I feel comfortable maining. Like with these are pretty much live against any deck. Well, obviously with Gamma, if you go first and you open this and a monster to summon, then it's not great, obviously, but you can also use it as a Macabre discard. Or if I play Droplet, so if I have that and just only have 1 monster, then I can easily make this live. So yeah, that's it for the monsters and hand traps. Spells, we have 1 Terraforming, 3 Desires. Can't express how good this card is. I've only twice lost to its banish effect, but I've lost count how many games I've won because of the draw 2. And usually it don't matter, because like where you play multiple copies of a lot of stuff, you can, like I said, I've only lost 2 games like with its banish effect, so it like very rarely happens. And sometimes you can easily get away with playing 2, because obviously you've got Alistair and Invocation keep recycling each other. So definitely, do you know what, I think it is actually staple in this deck. If you're not playing it, you're doing something wrong. And then triple Invocation. You can play 2, but obviously the reason I play 3, 1, because of desires, 2, if they negate, like if they like imperm or Ashy or Alistair, and you still got this, they've wasted a hand trap. So it comes in quite handy. And then we played Droplet. I really like this card because it's good going first and second. Like usually the discards don't matter, or if you have Meltdown, that's just 1 free card to send. So I guess the other card you can play is Triple Tactics Talent, but where this is not this is more of a control deck, and Talents is more for combo, because obviously, like if they hand trap you during your combo, you can use it to get rid of a hand trap or a consistency piece in their hand, and then if you go off. But obviously in this deck, like sometimes it doesn't do much, and Talents can be a dead card a lot of the time. I did test it, and for me, maybe I'm unlucky, but maybe I'll try again in the future. But with playing it, I've not had much luck. So yeah. Then we play 3 Nadir, obviously standard, and then 3 Meltdown. That's it for the spells and traps. So obviously the 3 impermanents. Play 3 Ice Dragon's Prison. This card is really good going first or second. Like a lot of decks will always have monsters of the same type, so banishing a monster in your opponent's field and graveyard is pretty broken, and it don't target. Well, the target for the summon from grave is target, but banishing but 2 monsters on field isn't. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then we play 2 punishment. Onto the extra deck. There are, in my opinion, 10 cards that every Dogmatika Invoked should be playing. I'll just show those quickly first, and I'll do a bit of explanation on the other 5. So we've got 2 Macabre, 1 Purgatrio, 1 Orgodis, or however you pronounce it. Obviously the standard invoked lineup. Titanic Lad, we don't need more than 1. Elder Entity, Omega, and then the 1 card Macabre package. So that's the 10. And then on to the 5. So these are the spots you can mess around with. One of them is Phoenix, because I just think it's nice to have a generic link to pop back quo at times. So I've decided to put this in. Then play a card from the new set, Tri Brigade, Ferret, or Ferrich, I don't know how to pronounce it, don't know how it's pronounced. So you never summon this card, and literally the only way for me to summon this card is to have 2 DD Crows, which are in my side. That's literally it, and it's a field effect, it's irrelevant for this deck anyway, so it doesn't matter what it does on field. But when it's sent to the graveyard, so obviously you can do that with Nadir, Maximus, and sometimes Punishment, you can draw a card and then put a card on the bottom of your deck. So I do think so, which is quite handy. Then I play Wind Pegasus, another grave effect. When a card is destroyed in your field, you can banish this card to return a card your opponent controls back to the deck. And then I guess these 2 are debatable. One of them would be Macabre. So you don't exactly need 3 Macabre, but where we've got plenty of space in the extra deck now, I just feel comfortable playing a 5th Invoked. I would play Raging, but I don't feel Droll is popular enough. It's definitely inside decks. Sometimes it's in main, but I don't feel it's like heavily popular enough to put in. But maybe in the future I will decide to. Well, I guess this is also wind, but obviously you never want to use this because it's got a great effect. So I've put in the Thermocarba, and then the last spot, like 5-headed. So I just think it's nice to have a punishment target that can destroy any monster, because the highest attack in your extra deck that isn't this is 2,800 being Omega. So sometimes maybe you get a 3,000 plus monster, which is annoying that you can't destroy. So I just thought you could put this in. Obviously it's not absolutely necessary to play this, but it does come in handy having that as an option. And also a bonus thing is with the Invoked Fusion, you can obviously banish a fusion to gain its attack, so you can make it go up to 7,000. So that's the extra. Onto the side, the one paint top's generic, going second card, and then 3 Nibiru, standard. You pretty much see this in like every main or side in most decks. And then sides play, 3 Crow, like it's good against Dino. I wouldn't side it in the mirror. It's good against Eldritch variants, Dragon Link. I was siding Droll, but where it's more of it's a similar problem I had with Altergeist. Like you just stun them for a turn and then you can't. Well, I know you can in Invokes, but not always. And it's not as bad as Geist, but I still think it's mediocre in a non-combo deck. Because like I said, you can't just like go all out and you've -1. So I've decided to play this instead, and obviously this is also good. Unlike Droll, this is good against Eldritch, which can be a hard matchup. And then played one Feather Duster, which is pretty much standard. Play Called by the Grave. And then we played this as our back row removal, Triple Cosmic Cyclone. I really like this like over evenly. Like I used to play evenly matched, but it didn't work out well for me. And Lightning Storm was all right, but with this, there's no restrictions. Like with those two, you have to have nothing on the field. No, well, Lightning Storm, you have to have nothing face up, then Evilly, you have to have nothing. But with this, it's good going first and second. And obviously quite helpful in the Eldritch matchup to banish their golden lands and elixirs and cursed Eldland, which can be quite impactful. So I do think this is better overall. And this deck doesn't have such a hard time grinding through back row, so it's more. So yeah, I think this definitely suits it more than all the other back row removal. And then 3 Solemn Judgment for when you go first against any deck. So yeah, that's the whole deck. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel, Frozen Card Gaming, and shout outs to Card Market. Thank you.